So hello guys, and in this video what we're going to do is that we want to do a weekly P&L review. So I'm going to look back at what are the profit and losses I had this week in futures and options in intraday. I have some swing positions intact, but those positions are unrealized, so we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to do intraday this week, whatever trades I've taken. And this video is divided in two parts. The first part is I'm going to show you about on what day, what trade did I execute. So you'll see what is the frequency of trades that I take and how do I manage my risk and all of that. And then the second part of the video is where I'm going to break down the logic behind this. And the reason why, like, that I always record when I trade, but there are times when, because of college being offline now, there are times when I'm taking a trade when I'm during college. So obviously I cannot record when I'm in college. So most of my trades happen in college, and that's why I cannot record it. And that's why the reason why one of the reason I'm making this video is because of that. And out of all the trades that you're going to see in my weekly PLN, I think only one of them has been recorded because that is the day when I had off for college. And there's a very important thing I want you to know before we begin, that although it's a very small number that I've earned, but um, pay no attention to it. It doesn't matter, and even I don't think of it as anything. It's just a number. This is just the beginning. We, both you and me, we want to aim a lot higher. But if you're watching this video to find out that number, then then I'm a little disappointed at you, and I hope that's not the reason why you're watching it. I'll be more happy if you're watching it for the later part of the video, that is understanding the analysis, because that's where you'll understand what kind of trades do I take, where, what do I see, and you can do it as well if you're understanding the logic. That's it. So let's begin now finally. And so do you want me to? Okay, because it's a small amount. I mean, I'm not doing all those refresh and all because I don't think any of you will think that I'm going to take my time and create a fake or something. That's just funny in the sense. Okay, anyways, we have futures and options because I only do intra and futures and options. We do realized PNL. I do have any open positions. I have no open positions as well. And the date range, right? So now let's go to this March 6th to 7th. So let's look what was the trade that I taken on Monday. So on Monday, I basically entered a position in Infosys March futures, and I booked 420 rupees profit. Now this was not my profit. This was my stop loss that was hit. My target for this was probably 8K, 10K, but I was trailing my stop loss as soon as the market was moving higher, and my trailing stop loss got hit, which was 420. And if you'll see, out of this 420, the charges was 182. So I only got like 237. And 1 second, if I do unrealized, yeah, okay, I don't get it over here. Okay, so now let's go to the next day, that is 8th of March. And 8th of March, we have Infosys 22 March future again. So I don't know why it's not showing, but on 7th, right? So on this very day, after my stop loss got hit, I again entered Infosys at the very end of the day. And the next day I booked, like I told you, right? My target was around 8 to 9 to 10K. So this was my target that I was able to book. The charges was 271, and this charges including both the days. So it's just not last day. So charges was probably half of this. And on the second, we were able to book 8,500. So you'll see on the first trade, the only trade I took was 4K. So it was of this Infosys. And the second trade was 8,400. Now, the reason why I did not take any other trade was because I like to have a risk appetite of around 2,000 rupees a day. So I was not planning to, like, if I was going to have a loss over here, my loss would be probably 3,000, 4,000. So if I was going to have a loss on Monday, so I would not trade Monday and Tuesday as well. Both the days I will not trade because that is my risk appetite for a day today is 2,000. So because over here I took the same trade and I had 8,400. It doesn't mean that I go and trade aggressively. My risk appetite was 2,000, which was done in this trade, and which I had taken in this trade, and God's grace, I was able to get my target, which was 8,800. So that is where I closed these 2 days. So you'll see that in these 2 days, I only took 2 trades, and both of them were in the same script that I was looking for. Let's go to the next day. That is Wednesday. And right. So on Wednesday, we have our classic Bank Nifty futures intraday, which is what I just trade in mostly. And again, like I told you, right, my daily risk appetite is 2000. My target was also around 2000. And on Wednesday, we booked 2000 rupees. And out of this 2072, I think the charges or something is around 200 rupees or something. So out of this, we took home around 1872 or something like that. And in combining these 3 days, we were able to get 10,400. And this figure is something I really like. Why? Because if you look at realized PNL and charges and taxes, okay, in case you are wondering what the breakdown is, this is the breakdown. Brokerage is 120 rupees per transaction. There's GST, there's SEBI turnover, there's stamp duty, and there's STT, something that just gets you a lot. It's a little painful, but this is the breakdown. And yeah, what I was talking about is that I personally love when my charges and taxes is less than 10% of my realized PNL. As in, what's my realized PNL is 10% over here. 10,000, 10%, 1,000. My charges is just 459, which is like 4.5% or something like that. So if it is less than 10%, it's a very good thing. That means that I'm very efficiently taking trades and I'm not just, over trading or anything like that. So this is something that I enjoy. And even if the charges was 1,000, I'd be completely normal with it. But if it was more than 1,000, that means that I'm going a little to the greedy side and something that I'll have to review about myself. And like I told you, I'm not a scalper. If I was a scalper, I might have a higher charge and tax. That's a different story. You know my style of trading. It's almost like one trade a day. So that is it for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And on Thursday, what did we do? So on Thursday, we were able to add another 4,000. We had taken trades as such. We had taken 2 trades on this day as well. Sorry, we had taken 3 trades. So what happened was that in the first trade, we booked around 4,300. The video that was out in this week is probably that days because, like I told you, Thursdays I have off. Thursdays is where I record. In my second trade, I lost money. I lost 2K. And in my third trade, I again gained 2K. So like 4,200 went to 2,200. And again, we close at 4,200. And because of that, you'll see I opened at 4,200, like my first trade. And at the end also, I closed at 4,200. But do you understand my charges and taxes? 200, 200, 200, 600 rupees. And that's why if you'll see the charges and taxes, it's 1,400 now. So this was a day where I actually overtraded. And this was a trade where I was not very efficient. Yeah, I made money, but that's not all. Right? Like I told you, don't look at the figures, but rather look at the habits, look at the things. And this day is a day where I kind of messed up. Something that I could have, I should have not done. So now because I'm aware that I'm not, this is something I've not done, it's completely fine. And in the future, I hope I don't make mistakes like this. And then we'll come to the next date, which is our Friday. And what happened on Friday was, again, we took another trade and I think we booked around 2,300. Yeah, it was around 2,200, 2,300. And this trade as well was just like one trade a day. That's all that I took today. If you'll see over here, 2,000 today, 2,000 on Thursday, 3,900. And sorry, this was 2,300 on Friday, 3,980 on Thursday, Wednesday 2,072, and Monday 8,400, and then on Monday 420, Tuesday, you understand what I mean. So overall, we were able to book 17,140, and out of that, we had charges of 1.6K. So almost it's like just nearing to 10%. So it's fine, but it could be improved, like I told you. And this is a very idealistic week. Normally, there's not a week where I have all days green. I normally have at least, like let's say if I've taken 5 trades, I might have 1 or 2 trades that are in loss, but mostly it's 3 trades green, 2 trades red. So at the worst case, I at least break even. Well, this was a very nice week and it went off pretty fine. And if you'll see, my net PNL for this week is around 15,500. And like I told you, it's not a big number, but it's completely fine. It's good compared to what I have been doing last month or last month. So when I compare my own journey in the market, it's a nice significant amount. But more in terms of, rather in terms of the amount that's 15,000, how much was I able to capture a return? Let's talk about return as well, right? Because let's say if I'm deploying 10 lakhs and if I'm just making 15K, then it's a complete joke. So if you have seen my videos, you'll see that I always operate in one lot of Bank Nifty, and the Infosys future lot probably costs 90,000. So I'm just going to say that let's assume our capital to be 1,50,000. So we made how much? We made 15,000 on 1 lakh. Asha. So we don't even need to use the calculator, just 10%, right? You can use the calculator if you want to. On 1,50,000, we made 15,000 rupees. So that is 10% of return. And the reason why I'm just taking 1,50,000 on 15 is because 1,50,000 we've used it and we've gotten our account the very same day. Right? These are intraday trades. And another thing which I keep telling people is that, let's say now if I were to just improve my return, right? What I could do is that, let's say Bank Nifty future, it costs 1,43,000, correct? So now that's why I assumed it to be 1.5 lakh, and that's how I got my return, 15,000 by 1,50,000. But let's say I want to improve my return. So what I do, instead of a trade, I always go for say, so wait, yeah. So you see my margin went from 1,40,000 to 64,000. But let's say I go more out of the money. Yeah. Yeah, let's say this figure, let's say 75,000. So this is a more significant, because over here I might lose very less on the downside. But I'll tell you the thing with this. So now my ROI has increased, right? Because before it was 15,000 on 1.5 lakh. Now it is 15,000 on 75,000. Before it was 1.5 lakh capital. Now the capital is half. So returns also like double, right? So over here you will see the problem that comes here is now, because I'm taking this one, I have to pay 60 rupees extra in brokerage and all the charges, and here I might have a small loss of maybe 50 rupees. So for hedging this and getting the benefit, that is from 1.5 lakh to 75,000, I have to pay around what I say 60 plus 50, around 150 rupees transaction. So like I told you that right now, if I were to take this, right, I would get a margin benefit of 75,000 and my capital deployed would be 75,000. So my return on investment increases. But because of that, I have to pay more charges as well. So I have to pay like 150 rupees here in this transaction additional. And let's say over the week of 5 days, we take it again and again. So let's say we pay around 700 rupees extra in transaction. So our profit might also go from 15K to say 14K, but our ROI will definitely increase. But thing is that right now, as of today, I only operate in one lot of Bank Nifty, right? And one lot costs 1.5 lakh, and I have 1.5 lakh rupees, and out of that 1.5 lakh rupees that I have, most of it is just my stocks that are pledged. So my cash would be less than that and wouldn't be a problem. But my whole point being that because today I only operate in one lot is where I don't take this margin benefit. But say tomorrow, or obviously not tomorrow, but in the future, when I might be trading in 2 lots, 3 lots, 4 lots, that those days I'm definitely going to take the margin benefit that you're seeing over here, right? I definitely have to pay additional 110 rupees, but because of that, I'm getting like 50% reduction in margin. So that's something I'll do in the future when I'm actually leveling up, scaling up. As of today, because I trade in one lot, I don't really require it. To summarize, I just want to say that the figure is not important. What I wanted you to see is that how many trades did I take? I only took like one trade a day, right? Except Thursday. Thursday I take 2-3 trades because that's the only day where I'm actually sitting at home and I'm able to monitor everything very well. So that's how I diversify my risk a little bit. Other days was just one day, one trade a day. And recently I've not been trading a lot because of being in college during trading hours. And now let's move on to the analysis part where I talk about what were the trades, what was my logic, because that's something that's much more important than this whole figures that I've shown you. Asha, so let's go on with the trade book. Like I told you, my trade analysis and all of that. So जो पहले Monday का था, that was Infosys. Bought it at 35 and sold it at 37. आपको पता है, I showed you that 420 rupees profit. That was it. And at the end of the day, मैंने again position book किया था. Why did I? Sorry, position book नहीं किया था, position enter किया था. So why did I go long on Infosys? You will see Infosys. काफी टाइम ये सपोर्ट रीजन में कंसोलिडेट कर रहा था, सपोर्ट ले रहा था, फाइनली इट वाज एबल टू ब्रेक आउट. तो मेरा जो एंट्री था ना, इट वाज अराउंड दिस पॉइंट. इन द नेक्स्ट डे द मार्केट ओपन डाउन, बट आराम से वेरी स्विफ्टली उसने गैप फिल किया, एंड आफ्टर दैट इट हेड हायर. सो वेयर डिड आई गेट आउट? आई एक्चुअली गॉट आउट एट दिस गैप फिलिंग. ये gap filling मेरा पहला target था, and what I was expecting was कि market will come till here, consolidate, maybe fall a little, and then head higher. But what happened was that market head higher, even filled this gap, like ये gap fill करके थोड़ा नीचे आया, and then अगले दिन भी also it rose enough. But I got out at this point, and the reason why I was a little conservative was because मेरे पास cash में भी बहुत Infosys पड़ा हुआ है. I'm very very bullish on Infosys. So मेरे को ऐसा नहीं करना था कि मेरे हर position में Infosys हो. So that's why I got out over here, and I knew that अगर ऊपर जाना भी है, my cash position, my swing position is going to benefit. That's why I was not very greedy in this position. That was the very first 2 दिन का trade was based on this logic only, Infosys. So 9th March का जो अपना trade था, 11/7 को entered, 11/17 को booked. So it was a very 10-minute trade which I had taken in college during break, and it was 80 points books, around 2k profit. हमने 11/7 को enter किया and we got out very soon. So इसका I'll tell you the logic behind this trade. The very first logic की market ने एक one side momentum दिया है. तो market is not going to sustain and वापस ऊपर जाएगा one side momentum. Market थोड़ा सा correct करेगा और उसके बाद ही it'll go higher. So first when we were seeing this, पहले तो at least market ने was able to sustain this low. But after this, what is being formed over here? A head and shoulder, right? और head and shoulder के बाद market was getting weaker and it was not able to break this levels. So जब ये breakdown आया, I went short for a very small target of 80 points. And वो 80 points hit होने के बाद देखो बाद में क्या हुआ market went up, didn't it? So that's how the market works. You can't expect all just upside. एक नीचे आएगा और वो नीचे क्यों आया? It was to take the stop losses of everyone who was long. So before the market, if you want to move higher, it'll come down once, take the stop loss of everyone, and then get out. And if you'll ask me that, Praneeth, if you knew this, why didn't you trade this? Because ये time पे I couldn't be in front of my screen. I had to be in a lecture. But at this time, I was in front of my screen. That's where I knew that एक dip आने वाला है, तो dip में let's profit and then let's close our day. उसके बाद the market moved swiftly up. We didn't take any trade around this time. फिर next day देखते हैं, that is 10th को we took a trade very early. We took a trade at 9:38. हाँ, even this day I think I was not in college, or I was in college but I was not in class. 9:38 का देखते हैं एक second. 10th March. This trade is something that's very very beautiful. So 9:38 कहाँ है 9:38? Yes. तो ये मैंने ट्रेड यहाँ पे लिया था. My stop loss was probably just this. तो मेरा stop loss के बहुत पास था. And I got out after day high was taken. ठीक है. I think इसका वीडियो बनाया मैंने. I'm not sure. ठीक है. तो इसका लॉजिक आपको पता है. जो फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट आता है गैप फिलिंग में, it always is a rejection. It's always a trap. तो फर्स्ट इधर जो ब्रेकडाउन दिया था ना, that was a rejection. And after that, the market had higher. The market had higher to what level? I bought it till this level because I was waiting till this level because I was expecting यहाँ तक आएगा, जो भी short वालों का उनका stop loss खाएगा, and then it might go lower. That's why my target was only this much. If I knew कि इतना bullish होने वाला है, definitely I would have trailed my stop loss. But I didn't do that, and that's completely fine. I think it's a video. I'm not going to spend a lot of time explaining this. Then we come to the next day, which is 10th. Achha, 10th is only Thursday. Nah, then I've taken all these videos. Then we come to 11th March. 11th March, again, I was in college. Very quick scalp हुआ ये, हाँ, yes. 10:11, 10:23, 10 minute का. I sold it at 10:11. So where's 10:11? हाँ. Again, very simple concept. I almost sold at the very top, which is sold at 10:11. मेरा stop loss कुछ इतना होगा. My target must be this bottom, right around over here. So I think I booked 90 points or something, 2,300. इसका reasoning was very simple. Okay, you draw a FIBO from here to here. कौन सा level है? 0.618. उसके बाद you draw a trend line as well. Breakdown आया, retest किया, go short. It was as simple as that. If I was not in college, I would have waited longer and maybe got higher targets. But because I was in college, I couldn't wait a lot, and I got out at this point. So this was all my trades that I've taken this week. Every day, like I didn't take every day one trade, but you saw my trade book, you saw everything. So I hope that was useful for you. I hope it was something that you could learn from me. And if there's a video on trading psychology that you want, or how to control your greed or something like that, then let me know in the comment section, and I'll